Hello everybody, it's the day after I posted, and so far it's been a very busy day for the Daily Professor. Fed the ferals, fed the kids, and went out to do a little bit of shopping, and went to PetSmart again, needed litter. And the awning guy has come back. He knew that it was leaking, and he's installing the eavesdrop. And it's not supposed to rain over the next few days, but I'm sort of glad that he's doing it because, just in case, and for when I come back. So I am leaving with the kids today, so I won't post this for another week, 2 weeks, whatever. But so this is the start of the next podcast. And I've been getting ready. Cleaned up the cars a bit, taking the other one, the big one, and the air conditioning isn't working, but that's okay. By the time we leave, it's going to be evening. It's going to be cool. So cut the grass. The guy's doing that stuff. I'm going to tidy up a bit inside, start packing, and then feed the outside kids, feed the ferals. And my neighbor, once again, very kindly, agreed to feed them, and she takes very good care of them, as much as I do, So feeds them, make sure they're okay. So now the question is how long I'm going for, and I got appointments tomorrow. I got to take Agita for her, checkup. I gotta go to the accountant. I gotta find the papers, do all of that stuff. Maybe go to the bank, those kind of things, and then. Either I come back, we're with the kids on Tuesday, so tomorrow's Monday, come back on Tuesday or come back on Wednesday. Now, the thing is, if I have to see the accountant again, if I have to pick up the papers, if I have to sign anything, then I may have to stay another day. And I'm also anticipating that polls are going to be very strong there, because it's been a while. It's been 8 weeks, over 8 weeks, and there's been a lot of casino stuff, which worked up to a point. But then the casino stuff started getting out of hand on its own right, and it just kind of increased the stress rather than reduce it. So I'm going to, see how it goes. And if I can come back on Wednesday, I would like to stay the extra day to do the other things and eat out, restaurants and stuff that have there that don't have here, movies, art gallery, all that kind of stuff. The more positive rechanneling. But if I can't, if the polls get really, really strong there, then I might have to just come back Tuesday. But it's been a very busy day. I've hardly taped, haven't written, but a lot got done. The awning guy came and cut the grass, and had to do some shopping, and met my neighbor and and got a barbecue from my neighbor. It's an old one. They were throwing it out, and I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's quite fancy, so I put it on the back deck. So all of that, and then BC and Jill got a little, because of all the awning work and stuff. But I saw all 3 ferals, fed them. My neighbor came over. Very, very nice of them to look after my ferals when we're not here. So I fed the ferals, and I saw all 3 of them. I felt a little relieved. All 3 are in the backyard, but lots of food, water, everything. And I think Jack might have come because I see the light go on. Okay, 1 second. Your mom, sweetheart, your mom is going to be looking after your biological family. This is Jack. So those 3 are in their cases. And Jack, I put some treats there. So now I just have to get them into the car, do a quick check, turn off the lights, and go into Toronto. Okay, bye for now. Hello everybody, got everybody into the cases, got into the car, got the 2 boys into the 1 case. They prefer to travel, there's a little bit more space in that, but I couldn't get them both into the 1 case in the house, but they go into the 1 case here, and then they just settle down, and Agita is back there. You can see a kind of a white thingy there. That's the key. So anyway, everybody, we're here at the condo. We had a good trip here yesterday. Got here very tired. We just, reacclimatized, went to bed, fed the kids, went to bed, fed the kids in the morning, got the papers ready for the accountant, got ready, and got Agita into her case with minimal fuss. And both the boys, I'm pretty sure, are under the bed. Because, they think they have to go to the vet for checkup too. No, sweethearts, your checkups are later in the year. And we're not going back to the house today. We're going to stay here for a couple of days, hopefully. So anyway, we've got both the boys there. Here at vet, I got here a little early, so I'm not used to the traffic here, but there's actually little traffic in Toronto. So Agita is still, there's a little bit of objection in the car, but it's very minor. So now comes the fun part. And we heard the vet, and there's a little bit of Agita noises from the back, but much less than usual. Hey, guess who has been almost completely shaved? Which is good because your mats were awful. Do you feel lighter, sweetie? The vet said that she'd be like jumping around, and she might be taking it out on her brothers. Ah, sweetie, look at you! You're like a hairless cat. Look at you! Look at you! And the boys are here under the bed. We're not going back today, sweetie. We're not going back today. You don't have to worry. Your sister, you won't recognize your sister. Just, she's been shaved. She's like her mats were almost as big as she was. So, sweetie, do you feel better? Do you feel better? Oh, and then the accountant thing went well. Gave the papers. He was in a rush. It's very, very busy this time of year, but got that done. And then came straight back, and I think it's such a nice day, that I'm just gonna, let Agita settle in a bit, and then go for a walk and eat at my favorite place, my favorite nearby place. It's kind of, Mediterranean, and they have really, really good fish. So I'm gonna walk. Everybody, I'm just walking to Eden. I haven't in a long time now. It's a year. It's nice here too. There's a lake and everything. It's just the other place is better for me in terms of, options. So the pulls are kind of strong today, but it's okay. The whole thing with Agita, and and seeing the accountant and that going well, and then my friends have texted me, and my the person who's looking after my cats, my neighbor, texted me, and I'm like going, yeah, I'll make it. So I want to enjoy this. I'm just going to go to Eden. I'm going to have a couple of cocktails, better than the other thing, and I like the cocktails here. I'm here at Eden, and I'm having the Nautilus, which is like I think they call it a white gravy. It's got some kind of gazpacho, something liqueur. It's very sweet. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty strong. And then soup, and they've got chili oil on the table, peppers, bread, and ham. Lake. The building is just over there. Bye for now. Got back and somebody climbed onto my chest and is purring. It's so weird to touch a hairless Agita. You feel like a chihuahua or something. You're very sweet, Well, you are in your own way. Let's say in your own way. Hey, it's past midnight, and I almost gave myself a panic attack because I was with the kids, and I was like at home, and I'm like going, I'm in Toronto, we got Chinatown. I keep saying to people there, don't have Chinatown, don't have, really good Chinese restaurants. They're all Canadian Chinese. So I'm like, why not? And I had my supper at around 5 or 6, but I hadn't had lunch. So that was really a late lunch. And I had a couple of beers with it, or a couple of, cocktails with it. And then I walked back, and then I'm like going, why not just go to Chinatown, And the raw place is open until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Not the one I usually go to, but there are a couple of other places. So I'm like, I got the Pacifica here, I might as well take it. So I told the kids I'm just going, Chinatown, and it's the kind of thing I would do when I lived here. So I go to, I take the Pacifica, I drive to Chinatown, I park, and then I start thinking. This is like obsessive thoughts. I start thinking, did I turn off the tap for the toilet because it's leaking? And if you don't turn it off, it floods, and it's that tap down there. And I had used the bathroom before leaving. And I got a little tray there. The tray fills up in like 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. If you have it on full, if you have it on slow thing, maybe a minute, 2 minutes. So I'm thinking, I don't remember emptying the tray. And usually I'll turn it off and then I'll empty the tray. And I don't remember emptying the tray. And then I'm thinking, I must have. I said, I always do. I'm kind of very careful about this. And then, so I find a Chinese restaurant, I go in, I order a hot pot, and I have a beer. It's still, it's about midnight, but, they're still serving. So I said, okay, I'll have a beer with my hot pot. And I start panicking. I go, look, I don't remember turning off the water. And it could be like the whole apartment could be flooded, and it could be like pouring downstairs, and it could be like, a very big problem. very big problem if it goes downstairs and if it floods, the lower apartment. So I'm like, I kind of panic and I go, can you pack up my hot pot, please? So they pack it up, and then I quickly finish my beer. So yeah, I was going to have it with my hot pot, but I quickly drained the beer, and they packed it up. So the hot pot is in here. I haven't opened it yet. So I have some hot sauce and things in there. So it's seafood. So it's a seafood hot pot, and they put hot sauces and things in there. They didn't put hot sauce in they want, but anyway, it doesn't matter. At this point, I was just like, I was picturing the whole apartment flooded and water going down and people complaining, and so I drive back as quickly as I can. I run up. I have to park myself, and I run up. I turned it off. It's not fun. It's fine. So now I'm going to have my hot pot. Instead of having it in Chinatown, which was the idea, late at night, I'm going to have it. But that's okay. I'm having it here with the view and with the kids, and relaxed. So just relaxed. Well, I'm still a little tense because I was like, I was panicking, but it's just the relief was just like, oh my God, oh wow, Anyway, that's a nutty professor for you. Bye for now. Everybody, it's the next day. I think I taped a little bit last night after I had almost a panic attack, a little episode, because I had this obsessive thought that I hadn't turned off the water and it leaks in the bathroom when I went out to have eaten Chinatown midnight. And then I came back and I was freaking out, thinking there'd be water everywhere. I turned off the tap. It was fine. No water anywhere. So then I had my takeout hot pot and had a very good night with the kids. And I think Agita is feeling better. She had such big nuts. So just gave everybody a very nice breakfast, brunch. And I heard from my neighbor, my very helpful, very kind neighbors. I'm very, very lucky to have them out at the house, and she's agreed to look after the girls one more day so that I can stay here. And I think I need to kind of relax and unwind after yesterday. So, and yesterday was also busy with it was productive, and the vet and the accountant and all that stuff, and then the panic attack. So, but I did go to Chinatown late at night, which is, one of the things I miss there, having a Chinatown and having, a lot of options for all kinds of different food, and places open till 2 a.m., 4 a.m., so you just don't have that there. So I did do that, but I also had a panic attack. So now, I had a good night, and as a relief that my neighbor friend is looking after the ferals again. It was one more day. So we're definitely 100% going back tomorrow. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to take the shuttle bus rather than worry about driving parking. I'm going to take the shuttle bus to town. I'll just make a very quick morning entry and take the shuttle bus to town. Lunch. Chinatown again, but a different place. I'm thinking of an all-you-can-eat place. And then art gallery, and walk around, and come back. And then in the evening, if I have the energy, I want to go to the bookstore, because there isn't there isn't a new bookstore there. There's a couple of used bookstores. Taking a video of this, it's off. There's a little bit of water there. I'm putting my hand, there's no water coming. It's turned to the right. It's off. Hello everybody, Nutty Professor back at the big city, and we got the CN Tower hiding there, we got that Inventor building, we got the Roy Thompson Hall over there, we've got millions of cars and peoples and all that stuff, and yeah, back in the city. Walking along Queen Street, and there's flooding, it's like water everywhere. Hello everybody, I'm here at a sushi place on sushi and dim sum place on Spadina. It's right across from the place where I was yesterday, and I had my little mini meltdown when I thought I left the water on and it wasn't on. So right across the road, and this is their lunch, all you can eat. I've already had quite a bit of dim sum, really good shrimp dumplings, both boiled and fried. And this is chicken and seafood, fried rice, vegetables. That's the dynamite roll, the last of it. I think it's a crab meat. taco, avocado hand roll, and tempura shrimp. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to finish this. I'm having a Sapporo beer. Only thing I fucked up so far today that I know of is I forgot to keep my diabetes medication, which I'm supposed to have with me. Having desserts. Very good. Ate a lot. And now I'm approaching the art gallery. Here in the art gallery, a couple of new exhibitions. Visited some of the ones, the paintings that I like. And I think this is the lineup for the mirrored room one. Cam in the mirrored room thing with the balls. I'd seen this before, it was in a different location. They allow in 4 people at a time for exactly 60 seconds. Okay, here waiting for the bus. And it's traffic time. I just missed the 4:45, so I had to wait till 5:30. Again, there's a lot of people wearing those blue shirt thingies with the bird thingy on them, representing those people that hit pieces of rubber with sticks on ice. I don't get it, I just don't get it. I got a friend who's a cat rescuer, but she still follows that thing. I just don't get it. Anyway, that's just me. Everybody, I'm just about packed. I just have to get kids into the travel cases. I brought up the cart, and I'm just doing this for myself because I'm a little neurotic, and last time I was like freaking out because I thought I had left the tap open, and it leaks. That's where it leaks. It leaks right there, you know, under that the tappy thing. So I've turned it off. It's like all the way to the right. It's off. I kept my hand under it. I got everybody into their cases, you know, within like 5 minutes. You know, unbelievably easy. I think it's getting easier than usual. Probably just because you know, we're doing it more frequently, and I think they know now that when we travel, we only go between here and there, except for vet visits. But from here to there, and they knew as soon as I brought out the cases and I shut the doors to the bedroom so they couldn't hide under the bed. They knew that we're going back to the house, and they like the house. So everybody, we just got back, and within like 5 minutes, Agita's drinking from the tap. You know, my cat rescue friend from Toronto saw that in the video and said that their cat used to do that when he was younger, and then he wanted to drink from the toilet. You know, she hasn't asked for that yet. But and we've got the boys here. Everybody's readjusting, and I'm very happy to be home. Very happy to be home. And I really do have the best neighbors ever. I can have won the lottery with this house. Not only did they look after my funerals, like they were their own kids. The wife came twice a day, fed them, talked to them, spotted the 4th one, Ferris, and got excited over that. And then I come back and they got this little, I don't think it's a cat. I think it's a moose. But, I like it. It's got a little birdie on it and it's got the thing. So they give me a little ornament. I have cat ornaments. And I had the turtle. Because I got it somewhere, or my father got it somewhere on sale, and and it was kind of bright, so it was in a box. So we got a turtle, and we got a moose and a bird. And then we got cats, of course. And then I looked out here, and the husband, he's a very handy, very creative guy. He and he said he would do this, but he's fixed, or he's in the process of. It's taped. I don't know if he's put, he said he's got plexiglass, because otherwise, next time it rained, water would have poured directly into the shed, and I don't know if my bungee tarp system would have held a lot of water, because it's a very, very makeshift thing with bungees and the tarp hanging down from the ceiling. I don't think it would have taken a lot of water, and then they've got their shelters in there. So, and then I look out here, I haven't even been out here, there's a little cat. They got that a little, I think it's a planter or a lawn ornament thing. It's a cat. I come back and they've not only looked after my kids and sent them, my feral kids, oh my God, look, sweethearts, I missed you guys so much, I did. Daddy's back. Love you, love you, love you. BC, Jill, Peanut. I'm going to go give them some treats. Anyway, I'm very happy to be home. As soon as I came out, BC went running that way to hide under the... They're so sweet. Went running to hide from their father, who misses them so much. And the other one, Jill, ducked under there. And this one, I brought some... It's not quite supper time yet, but I brought a bunch of treats and just put it on a paper plate. So I better go in quickly so that the other two can come out and get some treats before Peanut eats them all. A huge thanks to my neighbors, huge thanks to my neighbors. And let's have a look in here. See, look at that. He's attached. He's attached. Skylights. Those ones broke with the awning guy because see, he had been up on there, And my neighbor, oh, amazing. I was kind of dreading. It's supposed to rain tonight. But I was like water is going to go right into their thingy, but it won't. Thanks to my neighbor, I can't see the one on the top, but on that side, but I could see these ones from inside. So paws crossed that the thing is now going to be waterproof, for these wonderful, wonderful feral cats. Well, no, they're not feral. They're not really feral. They're just outdoor. But they don't. They stay here. This is their home. Hello, everybody. There's not only do they look after my kids and fix the awning and fix the shed and all of that stuff, they gave me lawn ornaments. So that's a moose with a birdie. I don't think it's meant to be a bird bath. I think it's just an ornament because there's no dip in it. And then when I was going to give them samosas and thank them, I noticed this one. I hadn't seen it before. When I parked and I went that way into the house, I hadn't noticed it. It's a frog wearing glasses, Everybody, I don't know if you can see a little bit of movement on the other side of the bush. She's hiding. That's Jill. Hi, Jill, sweetie. And there's Peanut. And BC, let's go under the deck. I saw all three of them earlier. I think I taped. So, but that's Jill's favorite hiding spot. She thinks that she can't be seen there. So I'm so happy to be home. I just put the food. I put some there. I put some there. And again, a huge thanks to my neighbors. And this was incredible. I mean, really hope that this has done it. That with the awning guy and with my neighbor, with that these guys will be dry. And looks like we're going to find out tonight because it looks like rain. So anyway, I've fed them. I've spent some time with them. I was texting my neighbors from here. I was just sitting on the chair, so I've been out here a little bit. And there's BC, sweetie. Love you, Toe. Love you, Peanut. Love you, Jill. Hello, everybody. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I got up to give Agita some water, and I came just to check what's happening out there. And there's Peanut. I just saw another animal, not a cat, and I'm pretty sure it was a possum. Opossum. It's got the kind of a long tail and it's kind of a snout. It was here eating dry food. Peanut doesn't seem to mind. She's sitting there. I thought there might be a little fight or a rejection or something. And then I just saw the thing. By the time I went and got the camera, and I saw the thing go that way. I mean, if Peanut's okay with it, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask my friends. Is there a problem with the, opossums? Do they carry rabies or something? Or, it doesn't seem violent or anything, so I'm okay with it. If Peanut's okay with it, and if the other two are okay with it, I'm like, okay. Opossum, as long as you're friendly and you don't hurt anybody and you want to come and eat some dry food, like really, really early in the morning. Peanut's just sitting there going, okay, you're welcome. I don't care if you're a cat or a possum. Come and eat. That's kind of weird. Anyway, bye for now. Love you, sweetie. I just came to check if it had been raining and how that thing is holding up, and it hasn't rained. It's dry. And I'd got up to give Agita water, and then this is the scene I see. But let me just check. Now that I'm up, I might as well check to make sure the other two are okay. Okay, just came to check, and Peanut's there. Jill was in the shed but came out, but she's there on the deck. She's not running to hide. I don't see the possum. Went that way. And BC is very nicely settled. BC's like, I don't care, possums, you know. Dad coming to check early morning. I'm just sleeping in my heated shelter. So I guess all's well, you know. But if they're okay with it, if you guys are okay with possums, fine. Just, you know, as long as they don't fight or anything. You know? And now I think I understand why the water gets so dirty. It's not these people. It's Jill actually waiting on the patio, not just peeking from around the corner. Wow. Fed the kids and the feral kids. Fed the inside kids first, and then there's Jill eating. You can just about see her, the big bowl. There's Peanut, of course, on the deck. And there's BC waiting for me to come in. I put some treats for you, BC, on the chairs. You seem to like eating them off the chairs. And there's food there. I think your sister is going to finish that food. But there's more in the alcove. You know that, you know. So anyway, it's still late here, but not like before. Now, it doesn't seem to be pouring out of this thing as it was supposed to. The awning guy set it off. The ties is here. Think it's Finn, but I'm not sure. The other boy is here wandering around, and I think it's Elsie, but again, I'm not sure. Agita is nicely settled there, and Jill is there, and a minute ago I had just seen BC and Peanut on the patio as well. Okay, there's Peanut. And there's BC on the chair. I put some treats on the chair because BC, hi sweetheart. Hi sweetheart, I'm so happy to be home. You know, and your auntie from next door looked after you guys so well, you know. And your shed seems to be dry, thanks to your uncle, you know. So I'm like, now, the downspout that the awning guy installed doesn't seem to be quite working because I didn't see water gushing out from it or any water or anything there. But the flashing thing he put at the top seems to have worked. It's not all gushing down at once. It was dripping sort of more spread out over the edge. So that's good. There was a little pool of water, but I didn't even need to really broom it, you know. But it didn't really rain hard. The test is going to be when it rains hard. But the downspout is there. It's just I think we need to do something to kind of encourage the water to flow into it. You know. But other than that, at least it's, you know, it was manageable. So I'm quite happy with that. So happy to be home. Now I got to go to. I'm just about to make a morning journal entry here on the bed. Agita very nicely settled. Boys playing around here and there. Both of them, and downspout seems to be working. It's still coming down from here. It's still pulling, but it's not nearly as bad as before. Before it was all coming here. Now it's coming. I will broom it. I'll broom it to the, you know, I think it needs a little tweaking. But now, the really important part is this. And as far as I can tell, Peanut is not bothered by any of this. Okay, completely dry. And Peanut very comfortably settled, not bothered at all. And here, yeah, the downspout is sort of working, but it's still coming down from there. But it's more spread. It's not like all at once from there. It's still coming. Still going to need to, you know. Hello, everybody. Agita's there. It's sort of drinking water. She was. She wanted to, and then she was like, I don't know, I'll just watch it. So I've got Agita there, and we've got both the boys here. In the patio, I've got some of the windows open. I'm just about to have my breakfast at home. I bought some smoked salmon yesterday, so smoked salmon and cheese and toast, you know. And yeah, we had a good night. I just felt like relaxing at home with the kids. So after I did the errands of the day, I did a little bit of grocery shopping. Came back and I went to PetSmart, came back and just fed the ferals, fed the kids, and just read. on the bed, having sandwiches, just really, and exchanged a couple of texts with my neighbors. I don't know if I told the story, but Jack came into I think I told my neighbors in text, but Jack came into the living room while the boys were here, and this door was shut. So, and he saw the two boys here. They were very curious, and they were watching him through the glass, and then he saw them, and he hissed at them. It's their own house. He hissed at them, and he tried to hit the glass. He kind of jumped at the glass, and it was the glass, and like I told my neighbor, I said, it's completely confirmed my boy's belief that all cats, except themselves, are unfriendly like their sister. I don't think they've ever been unfriendly cat or friendly to them. And I think the Jack was a very sweet cat, but he was like going, he thought he was hallucinating. He's like, what is that? I'm seeing two of myself on this weird mirror here or something. He hissed at it and hit it. So it was kind of funny. So anyway, that's what's happening. It had a good night, and the slightest of pulls in the morning, still there. Much. Hello, everybody. I spent the time with the kids inside the patio and in the house, and I cut the grass in the front. It was just starting to rain, but very, very light. So, and now I think the boys are watching. They were from this back window. It's now later in the day, so after I finished cutting the grass, I just sat on the patio with the windows open, and both the boys were in the patio with me, and Agita was in her bedroom. And she came here. I turned on the tap for her because she prefers that. She's tricky with about it. Never tell with Agita. Never tell with Agita. Is it too fast? Do you want a little slower? There. Yeah. And then we get to both the boys here, and they were in the patio with me, but I just came in and starting to get a little coolish. And I sat in the patio and I read one of the light books I got the other day, So it's actually not too bad. So sort of a thriller, read some of his other books, He was actually a psychologist himself, so, but they're very, very kind of, light thrillers. So I was reading that on the patio, and just came in because it's starting to get a little coolish. So I'm going to shut the windows there. And then, so we got the boys in, and I look at the window, and look at that. The whole family. So our entire inside family was in the patio, here in the bedroom. Agita was here, and I look out, and all three of them. That's really something. They were all hiding when I was cutting the grass. So the boys kind of watched from the other bedroom window, so study window. So everybody's there. I'm just going to relax at home with the kids. I may go get some takeout. I haven't got Indian food takeout in a while. My friend said the other day out of province, when I sent her a picture of the three of these outside ones on the deck like this, she said, "Oh, the entire family." So that's the entire family outside, and here's the family inside. One of the boys there, and then the other boys there, and Agita's there. So I think I'm gonna go get some takeout food. Everybody, it's now the next day, and we've got Agita nicely settled there. We've got one of the boys, and I'm pretty sure that's Finn, very, very comfortably settled there, near his sister. Well, as near his sister as she will allow, without freaking out. And we've got the other boy here, and I'm pretty sure this is Elsie. Not sure if I taped yesterday, but I think I did. But it was a good day at home. I spent time in the patio with the kids. I fed females, fed kids, cut the grass, did all of that. And in the evening, I just went and got some Indian takeout food from a nearby place. An egg biryani and chicken with the spinach, palak. So, and then I watched streaming and read light book, but it's absorbing. So I stayed in with the kids and checked on the ferals, and everybody was in the shed at night. And it rained. That's the reason I didn't keep the shelters plugged in at night. But it was not cold, and for the most part, the thing has worked. I mean, particularly my friend neighbor's waterproofing of the shed. The shed is dry inside. Outside, a little bit of water. It's busy, and she's not going to hide because she knows I'm behind the door. If I try to open the door, she'll run. She's coming to have some of the food here. Have the food, sweetie. My daddy's just going for some shopping. I'm going to get some more food for you guys too. I'm getting food for all the kids. See you later, sweeties. Love you. And you're having breakfast, late breakfast, a brunch at this place that I go to often. And from here, I'll go to Pet Value, which is very nearby. And I'm having pancakes instead of toast. I didn't realize there was an option here. And I just accidentally put some Tabasco on the pancakes. But it'll be neutralized by the syrup. And everybody, it's late in the evening, and we've got Agita there. I think she was about to drink from the tap. And that may be because of her kidney issues, possible kidney issues, which we're supposed to, find a good diet, change your diet for. I have to talk to the vet on Monday. But and I'm a little worried because one of my previous cats, Loki, he passed of kidney issues at age 14, at age 14. And Agita is now 15. But, we're going to try to treat it with supplements and food and everything else. And I do remember, I think that Loki also used to, and I didn't know that he had kidney problems. I didn't have the blood test done the way I have with Agita. But he, I think, also used to drink from the tap. I just remember that, So anyway, we've got Agita there, about to drink from the tap. So one of the boys there, not sure if it's Elsie or Finn, and we've got the other boy here. And which one are you? I think this is Finn, but I could be wrong. So we got one of the boys there, and Agita there. And something very interesting to report because, I fed the ferals, I fed the kids, I changed the pajamas, and I was about to start reading at the back, and reading on the bed with Agita on the bed with me. And then I came for a second just to see where the boys were, and I put some treats for Jack on the front porch, as I always do. And I came, and I saw somebody walking in front of the windows. The curtains were, I think, a little bit open, and it wasn't completely dark. So I saw somebody, and I go, right in front of the house, and I'm wondering if it's my neighbor from the right side, looking for Jack, or something. And then I opened the door, and I called out, and I go, who's there? And it turned out to be not my neighbor from this side, the parents of Jack, but the neighbors from that side. They're also cat people, and it was a wife. She was worried about Ferris, and she said, there's a limping cat, and I said, yeah, I know, we call him Ferris, and she goes, she and her husband saw the cat by their trailer on the side, and thought that they were, trying to get over the fence, but couldn't jump, and and wanted to kind of show it the way around this way, and had brought food, and was trying to get another cat saw her, a Ferris saw her, and then, kind of ran, because she was kind of, she's very scared of people. So I call her she, but my neighbor on the other side is calling them he. And I said, that's why we're using the name Ferris, because it could be either a male or a female. And I said, we were planning on trying to trap her or him, and getting the paw looked at, and getting getting them fixed if necessary, but has not been showing himself or themselves to me for the last little while, because I think they might have said we're planning on trapping for their own good and re-releasing, obviously, and I'd be very happy if they stayed in the backyard. I bought the first shelter. So I was talking to my neighbor, and it turns out my neighbors, they've got an indoor cat. So it turns out that, I've got people, neighbors, on both sides who are cat people and keep a track of feral cats in the neighborhood and try to help them and, and try to feed. All three kids very nicely settled on the bed while I'm reading. Everybody, it's been a very relaxing Sunday with the kids. Just had I fed the ferals, I fed the kids, I fed the ferals. I just had grilled cheese and salmon sandwiches for lunch. I just lay on the bed. There are three of us cats: Finn, Agita, and myself, semi-cat, on the bed. And Elsie has been very comfortably sitting here, very comfortably. And I'm just coming out to check on the ferals. There's a little bit of water here, just a little bit. It drips from the middle now. This thing sort of works, but I think he's going to come back and hook up that one. And we've got Peanut in her heated shelter. I've got them plugged in because it's dry over there, And look, there's Jill. Hi, Jill. Hi, sweetie. And BC. So from Jill, BC, Peanut, who I think is now back in her heated shelter, Agita, shaved Agita, Elsie, I think, and Finn. A little later in the day, we've got Agita once again nicely settled here. Shaved Agita, nicely settled there. And we have both of the boys here, And I think this one is Elsie, and I think this one is Finn, And they're looking out. I don't know if you can see any birdies, So I just want to talk a little bit more. And I've taken a little bit of footage of the ferals outside, which I'm going to splice in. But I just want to talk a little bit generally about the events of the week. Normally, these days, I used to post every week, and then I've, been posting every 2 weeks. But because it was a busy week, very eventful, I'm going to post today, and I've got a lot of material, so I'll have to edit it down. So I want to edit and post. But I just want to talk a little bit about the generally, and I will include the actual material. But I just wanted to say that it has been a pretty good week in terms of productive. The awning guy came on the Sunday and he redid the awning. It still needs a little bit. I mean, I think he has to, and he said he didn't have time that day, so he has to reinstall one of the downspouts. But it's helped. What he has done has helped. The new downspout in the east trough has helped reduce the pooling of water. It's no longer a waterfall when it rains on the patio. But he ended up accidentally breaking a couple of the skylights on the shed when he climbed up on the shed to do the east trough. So, and then on Sunday, I also cut the grass. I had to pack up. My neighbor came to get the keys and see what needs to be done for the ferals, even though she's done it a few times, but the routine changes slightly with the seasons. So she came and talked to her, and then I ended up, and talked about the shed and the awning and all of that stuff. And then I got everybody into their cases and, drove to Toronto, got there very late. And the next day, took Agita for her checkup, and I've got a bit of footage of that where you could just kind of hear her in the background in the other room, and they somehow managed to shave her. And my Toronto cat rescuer friend was like she goes, I'm speechless at the bravery of the staff at the clinic. Because she's helped me trim Agita's, hair and stuff before, and she knows what Agita's like. So, and then I went to the accountant, did all of that stuff, and afterwards there were pulls. I took Agita back to the condo, and there were pulls, because there's a lot more options there. So I ended up, I went for a couple of drinks at one of the places, walking. One of the places that I used to go to often there, with that food and cocktails. The booze didn't help. Went home, sobered up, napped, spent some time with the kids, and then I'm going at around midnight, since I'm in Toronto, I might as well make use of the fact and go to late night dim sum Chinatown. So I get there, and I have this kind of, OCD moment where I'm like, because I turned off, I questioned whether I turned off the tap. There's a leak in the bathroom, and I turn on the tap at the toilet to flush it, and then I turn it off. And I really should get it fixed, but I'm only there. I'm not there much, so and then I have to make an appointment with the plumber, all of that. So for now, I just turn on the tap, and then after I use a flush, you turn off the tap. And I'm sitting there in the restaurant, and I couldn't remember if I turned off the tap. And this is the recurring intrusive thought from the textbook, and I'm like going, the unwanted, intrusive, recurring thought: did I turn off the tap? And I remember turning it on to use a flush, but I didn't remember turning it off. And then I panicked, and then I almost had a panic attack, and I ordered the food, and I said, "Can you make it to go? I've got to rush." And I was visualizing, I was catastrophizing. Emphasis on the cat. I was catastrophizing, and I was like going, there'll be water, and there'll be a big problem, and there'll be flooding, and I race back, I run up, and it's completely dry. I turned it off, But you know what? And I was telling my neighbors about this. That worked to reduce the cravings. I don't recommend that as a method, but it was the stress and the retention and then the relief that, oh, it's not flooded. And then it was just such a distraction and such a release of tension and energy that the next day I could just relax. Cravings were much less. And thanks to my neighbor very kindly agreeing to look after the ferals another day, I stayed there, and I went to the art gallery. I wandered around the city, things I used to do regularly. Had all-you-can-eat dim sum. This time I ate in Chinatown, and came back and relaxed with the kids and enjoyed, being there. And then packed everybody up the next day. Came back to find that my neighbor, the husband, had patched up the shed, that fixed the skylights, so it's not leaking. So that was huge, and I'm very, very thankful to both of them, And I really do believe that I won the lottery with this house, because I have the ferals, who I love very much, and I have incredible neighbors on both sides, including the other side. I mean, I think I taped that too yesterday. The neighbor on the other side saw Ferris, who I haven't seen in a while. Other people have spotted her. She's not showing herself to me, because I think she's kind of realized that I wanted to trap her, to help her, to take her to the vet and get her paw looked at and get her fixed, her or him fixed, and, and then trap, neuter, release, here, and hopefully have them stay in the backyard. I bought an extra shelter, but now even if I spot from inside, she runs and hides in the in the bush, and I haven't actually seen her in quite some time. Other people have spotted her, but my neighbor, the other side, she was looking. She said, "I saw that limping cat, and I was worried, and I don't want to go to the road," and she brought food. And how amazing is that? People keep track of the ferals and try to help them. I'm in between people on both sides who are cat people and who care about feral cats. It's amazing. I'm very, very pleased to be here. So that's helped too, So all of that, and then I saw the possum. The night we got back, I went to check on the ferals late at night, and there's a possum eating my ferals' food. And as I said to my neighbors, I'm very proud of my ferals, because they're accepting, sharing. They're like going, "We got lots of food. Our dad puts in lots of food. Sure, doesn't matter what species you are, what background you are. You want to come and eat? Share." And the Peanut was there, and they're friends. She's got friends of different species. And the woman at Pet Value yesterday said possums are actually good for outdoor cats because they eat ticks and stuff. I didn't know all that. So all of that has been very positive. There were still little bits of bulls during the week, but much less than before. And I was busy looking after the ferals, looking after the inside kids, did not need to go to the casino. So and then checking the shed situation. Is it leaking? It's not leaking inside. Little bit of leaking outside, but not as bad as before. So and then the usual stuff. Looking after the kids, looking after the ferals, eating out, getting takeout, and doing some reading. I went to the bookstore also in Toronto, and I bought some books, so some live readings, and all of that. It's been, and I hesitate to say this because every time I say it, then you have to pay the price because the cravings ramp up. But so far, the cravings have been lower the week that we've been back, the few days that we've been back, and we're cutting the grass, going for walks, stuff like that, looking after the kids, So that's pretty much what's been happening. It's, one paw in front of the other, one day at a time. My out of province friend suggested another metaphor, kind of muddling along, and I kind of like that. So muddling along, one paw in front of the other, one day at a time. Yeah, that's what's happening, So I don't even want to say things the cravings are better because, they will probably ramp up at some point, but I have the casino as a backup. So that's I will splice in some footage of the ferals. So and I'll see what the week is like. If I need to, I'll tape next weekend. If not, I'll tape in a couple of weeks. So wish me luck, and from the 7 of us, at least, plus possums and totally feral cats. So from, Elfie, Finn, Agita, Peanut, BC, Jill, not inside right now, possibly Ferris out there in the bush, Possum, wherever the possums live. So from the 7 of us, so we got Agita there, Elsie and Finn here, and myself, nuttiest, grittiest, most fucked up professor I've ever walked the face of the earth. Bye for now. See you next podcast.